To action. We're live. Hello, Book of Faces, people. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. We're waiting for Melissa to turn the speaker on, and then we're going to get rolling with all this goddess goodness. And we have a lot of goddess goodness on this table today. I'm very excited about this.
Battery 20%. Connected to iPad 6 and iPad.
She is absolutely excited. When I quote people, I actually quote them.
There's no softening that up.
Right. So, how is everyone? I hope we're all doing well. Instagram still doesn't like us.
When does it ever?
Yeah, it never really seems to.
Forever with the whole
Probably do better with a phone. We're gonna have to figure out an Instagram solution. So sorry, Instagram people. Hopefully you're on YouTube or Facebook watching us here. And we have Melissa now. Yay, we can get this party started, right? Get this party started quickly, right? So, all right, where do you want to start?
Oh my god, I don't know. We have a table full of stuff.
We have a table full of stuff.
Do you want to start with the candles?
He says we should start with candles. You have not seen these.
No, these
So-
are brand spanking
You
new.
should describe them because
I should
you
describe
have
them?
not seen them.
I don't even know what kind of scent you put into these.
There was a lot of research into this. Apparently, if you would like to invoke a goddess, you need orris oil, which does not have a scent. So, while there is orris oil in them, we then looked up, a scents associated with said goddesses, and we went from there. And this is what we came up with.
Right, because at first when we were brainstorming these, we thought, your traditional tall religious candle.
Right.
But you surprised me
With the cute
with
little.
these.
And these are great. I thought this was perfect because if you're going to be doing goddess magic and you have to, make offerings and stuff, hold that jar. Hold it, squeeze it. All right. So now you have this cute little altar that the little goddess sits on. So you can make little food offerings or floral offerings or stones or herbs or whatever you want to put on there.
Whatever she tells you to put on there that she wants to put
Right,
on.
whatever she says she wants. Mine likes rice and amethyst. But
So we have two. We have four of each of these. So there's two.
yes.
We have Isis here. Which her little statue doesn't line up with her label with the way we screwed that.
Yeah.
But
I'll let you look at
nice.
the
Other one, this one right
You
here.
know,
It's this camera.
oh, it's that one.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
Whoops. Okay.
Wrong. We have too many cameras.
We have too many cameras.
So nice, well detailed little statue on there to go. And we have either Hecate, Hecate, or Hecate. I've heard of all three ways.
It depends on where you're from.
Yeah. So, and they're on there pretty good. They're not going to fall off on you.
No, they're not going
But so we have four of each. So if you're interested in grabbing one of these, let us know.
And if you want to
How
know,
much are they?
They are $12.50.
That's it.
That's
$12.50.
it. That's it.
$12.50 for a goddess candle
Yeah.
and
with
if you,
the built-in altar,
And there will be more,
otherwise known as a lid.
but otherwise known as a lid. But, if you're in a pinch, if you don't have an Isis statue, what do you do?
Right.
Yeah. So that was my thought. Maybe but I thought they were
Ready to
adorable.
Well,
connect
and
another
it's
device.
pretty unique.
iPad 6
Um,
disconnected.
a
iPad
little more,
disconnected.
to it than just a glass candle with a sticker label. With
Right.
a royalty-free image.
Right.
Stuck on.
the Isis candle was made using jasmine oil and lily of the valley with the orzo oil as well. And then the Hecate candle was made using geranium, orzo, and lavender.
It's declining my carrying.
My
Yeah.
speaker doesn't like it.
Nothing has gone well for me this week. I really should just hide.
So you are a lot more knowledgeable on Isis. So what would they use Isis candle for?
Well, she and I have a bond. She's my ride or die.
Going off the cliff.
Going off the
convertible
cliff,
with you?
me and Isis going together. I've been
Ready
into
for
her
that.
since I was 12. And honestly, I kind of go to her when all else fails. I see her mostly as a mother and a healer. She is supposedly the creator of us, and when her husband was killed and cut up into several pieces, she put him back together. So if that's not healing, I don't know what is. But I think because it seems like I've always had kids, I really latched onto that maternal part of her. But you know, in Egypt, they would pray to her if crops were bad, or if they're having problems. That's my shoe on the chair.
Oh, I'm like, what? Snuck in here.
If you're
Damn it, Bob.
having problems in the field, basically she was the one. So
Nice.
I'm not big on the
Ready
list,
to connect.
You know, I've never felt, an overall connection to any of the lovey beauty
No.
goddesses. And it's funny that you picked these two because you say that was your first. And Hecate, she was my first.
Really?
Mhm. Magic, sorcery, the crossroads, childbirthing, healing. She was actually the one that heard Persephone, crying out from Hades, and
Yeah.
kind of went, "Hey, guess where she's at, guys?"
She's a narc.
Stitches.
Stitches get stitches.
So healing work, midwifery, magical. She a lot of the times will get this rap that she's like this dark crone goddess. You got to be careful of her.
Yeah, there
Big
were
Beth.
definitely, when we were looking at oils, two different versions
Ready
of
to
her.
connect.
There was the dark crone goddess version, like you were saying, that seemed more menacing, and then there was
I have never felt her menacing. Like I've never been afraid of her. I've never went like, oh shit, like you don't move right and she's gonna get mad at you. And I've never enjoyed her always, in this crone phase being that haggard crone. And I'm like, crones are beautiful as well. So why was she always portrayed as saggy, wrinkly,
Warded.
Yeah. And I'm like, no.
they just wanted to show you age.
Well, not just that, but the first time I ever heard of her was through Macbeth. So you also have to think about that.
Oh, the
She-
drama. Shakespeare likes to take everything to the nth power.
Well, not just that, but back then they were really like against witches. So
But she's always felt like either that real loving, easygoing kind of grandma who knows everything, or the grandma that will smack you upside the head because you didn't do your homework. But never like this evil, you're gonna die if you step on her lawn. But I know there are people who, kind of approach her with a lot of trepidation. But I've never, felt her in that way. So, if you're looking for, a goddess to kind of help you with, any sort of healing work, which is why a lot of times she has the scythe for the herbal work. The snake is part of the healing. Sometimes she'll have it like either wrapped around like up one arm.
Yeah.
She's often shown in the three faces as part of the Maiden Mother crone, and she's usually the crone. But, for me, like she has the knowledge of all three. So she represents, all three coming and going for me. But I find it hilarious that those were the two that you picked.
That I went with. Actually, we tried other ones that just for one reason or another did not work out. So maybe this was meant to be just those two for today.
Right. They said, no, bitches, y'all wait. They're first.
Yeah, it's us.
Mm-hmm.
Have a seat. You wait your turn. I
Right.
should say today's boxed wine was brought to you by Vendange and
In the Welsh shit cup.
and the my house, my rules, my coffee cup. So,
Well, this is kind
Cheers.
of like my teacup, but today it's a wine cup.
well, you kept making posts about coffee all day, so I thought drinking out of coffee cups was apropos.
I need the coffee today. I'm just dragging ass.
Marlene and Lisa say hello.
Hi, ladies. How you doing? We're just chilling.
So, I mean,
So
you got your candle set up. Where do we go with the candle? Like, working with the goddess, do we want to go incense?
we could go oils.
We could.
We picked some oils up. And this is great. Here's Hecate oil, and it's got herbs in it. And I've never seen these with herbs in them before.
Yeah, certain ones of these will put herbs. Usually it's a stone.
I also have Kali oil. These are $10. This also has herbs in it. I don't know. Can you see that?
Yeah.
This one
Okay.
has Fianis
Ooh.
down in there.
Kali is the mother goddess of protection and destruction for renewal. I thought that was Durban. Am I wrong?
That is not a pantheon that I.
It's a newer one for me. I just started about 2 years ago with this one. Anyway, so if you need to destroy something in order to start over, this is an oil for you. And I feel like that is currently what I'm doing.
I know Kali lays some waste, man. She
She
fucks
can-
some shit up.
Yeah, she ain't blue for nothing, baby. So you got blue chicks, you better don't mess with blue chicks.
She
all right?
is one not to take lightly, not because of you need to fear her, but like don't half-ass think that you want something to change because she will change it. There's
will
no
change.
going back.
Yeah.
You're stuck with that decision.
And then the Hecate oil says, goddess of the triple aspect, magic crossroads, and the dead, with aniseeds. And then it says on here, dilute with carrier oil if you're going to use it on your body. That is the thing with all oils. Make sure you breathe carefully. You may not be able to apply them to your skin directly. And then we have Ganesha, which we all
Smells good.
smells good.
Reminds me of one of the strawberry shortcake dolls. from
It
the
says
80s.
remover of obstacles, but Ganesha is always happy. It's a cheerful, joyful, don't you think?
Unless it's my statue.
Unless it's your statue. Everything but her statue.
He's a fierce Ganesha.
Maybe he was supposed to be something else, and now he's mad that he was made into Ganesha.
I don't know. I mean, he's kind of buff, and like he's
Yeah.
not the rounded happy. This is the Ganesha that did P90X before getting up on his pedestal.
So, yeah, Ganesha is, for me at least, always evokes good times and joyfulness. What does Ganesha say to you?
I mean, yeah, he's usually like a remover, a worker, though he has always been somewhat of a protector for me in the store. Before we had the big one back there in the corner, we had a metal one, and he would always stand in front of the door and,
Great
kind of
people.
like right in your face
Yeah.
as you came in.
Hello. Good morning.
Who goes there? What do you want? Did you bring wine?
And
Go
then
back
we
and fetch it.
have Lakshmi oil. It says open the gates of prosperity. I have not tried this for prosperity. Have you tried Lakshmi for prosperity?
Not the oil, usually. But, not necessarily the oil, but the little statue up by the prosperity altar for the store.
Sweet. Also
it
smells really good.
She does pretty well, the little statue up there.
That's nice. That's real nice. Mm.
You like it better than Ganesha? I like the Ganesha.
Wait,
No,
hand me the
but it
Ganesha
is
one.
still really nice.
I've never smelled that. I want to know why she says it reminds her of strawberry shortcake dolls.
So what are these little candles here?
Those are bring me love candles. Just little,
Just little bring me love.
bring me a little bit of love.
Aphrodite's.
Yep. Well, they're only 4-ounce candles. I usually do an 8-ounce tin. So if you've bought any of my tins in the past, you know that these are smaller. However, they're only like $6.99 or something, $7.
And there's two of them.
And there's 2 of them. And
So-
then there is a 4-ounce protection one too. Psychic
So-
development. I'm sorry. That's right.
So if we were doing the love candle, that would be your Aphrodite. Drawing of the
hair, Persephone?
No, I was talking about Aphrodite.
Aphrodite. Okay.
There you go.
So you're Aphrodite.
And
You're
this one, she is a Buddha spirit for love. Razuli, I think I'm saying that right.
Sure.
This little print, actually, this is a pagan artist from Wisconsin, but she is a Mori over love, comes with the little write-up. So you can put the prints or a print of Aphrodite with a little candle, write your little petition down, stick it under the candle. Sometimes you may want to look up little offerings that they enjoy, kind of give that as a thanks or exchange of the energy. So they're going to help you achieve something, give them, energy to help make that happen for you. So for the protection or the psychic development, Mnemosyne would be one. She does a lot with like memory and brain working. Who else? Goddess for psychic development. Trying to remember if Athena would work because she's a knowledge.
Isn't she the goddess of wisdom also, technically?
Hecate would
It
work in
does
this
say
one
seeker
too.
of knowledge on there, so
Or this could help you connect in with any of the goddesses,
Mhm.
really.
that's true.
That
When you
opening the
think about
third
it.
eye, making that connection, bringing down those boundaries that you might have, thinking that you can't connect with them.
Or trying to get one in particular that you really want to connect with.
If you
Help
haven't
dial
had
that
one,
in.
just come knock you on the head, like, listen.
Yeah. Hello.
Maybe we should start putting orzo oil in all of those then.
Forest oil and all. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. The midsummer tins. I know we're a little bit late on this, as solstice was last weekend, but we do have a few of the tins left. And
Lots of little goodies in there: citrine, orange peel, lavender, chamomile.
roses.
Go. So 2 of them left.
2 of those left.
You see, and this goes to show how much of a Hecate fan I am. Little tea lights as well, 80 cents, and votives for $3. A lot of her.
I'm surprised you still have a box set full.
They're down low on the shelf. I don't think people realize that they're there. Maybe
That's
accidentally on
true.
purpose that they're
That's
there.
true.
That
People
way.
may not know. We gotta rearrange the store every so often.
Right.
So, you want to go through the rest of these?
Sure. So we have Baphomet votives. What would Baphomet be for?
No.
Yeah.
You pulled them.
You made them, and I'm gonna throw them at you.
And now she's throwing them. Apparently, Baphomet is for throwing at people.
So Baphomet, off the top of my head, is the figure that is usually associated with the Satanic Church, but but
That, just a statement you made.
actually pretty androgynous. Male, female, as above, so below, which is why the hands are usually, but I forget which one's up and which one's down. There's usually children in front of Baphomet, the whole seeking of knowledge, and the young people, kind of like the young live here in the earth, that kind of knowledge back and forth. So it is a tie-on between not only above and below where we're at, the connection of everything being connected, really. So we have some Baphomet. They're $3 for a votive. There's a handful of tea lights.
So Baphomet is Gnostic, and the best I can tell is that he was the deity that the Knights Templar were accused of worshiping at their trial.
Hmm.
So
Basically, a lot, like in the past, Christians accused that of being Satan. That's why a lot of people.
as well as Pan.
but they also said most scholars believe the word refers to Muhammad, the founder of Islam.
What I'm seeing though mostly is that he's the symbolization of equilibrium of opposites.
The equilibrium of opposites. That would make sense, actually.
Right, the above, below, the past, the future,
Yes.
the children with him.
Yeah.
And kind of androgynous, because there are a lot of times breasts on a male kind of looking figure to represent that duality. But this one you do know,
That one is Bastet, and she's a cat.
not just a cat.
She's the cat and the keeper of the dead. Am I right to this?
I'm looking it up.
So Bex,
Goddess of the home, domesticity, women's secrets, cats, fertility, and childbirth. She protected the homes of evil spirits protected the homes from evil spirits and disease,
This is why you should have a cat.
especially diseases associated
That's
with
my
women
cat.
and
He did a
children.
very good job keeping the ghost out of my house.
Well,
He hid behind
they
me
weren't
rather
evil,
than.
apparently.
No, he was because he kept throwing the poor cat down.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was
Oh.
throwing the cat downstairs.
That door in my kitchen to that basement, that
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Yeah, that's a dangerous door.
Someone asked for advice. They received a necklace of goddess Mara and put it in sea salt. What else should they do to cleanse it?
Moonlight. Lay it out for the moon. Sea salt works.
Sunlight works.
Sunlight works.
Sunlight works.
Moon water works.
Moon water,
Holy water works.
sun water.
If you're in a pinch, some sage.
Reiki.
Smudge it a little bit.
Couldn't you use
Selenite.
Palo Santo?
What else do I got?
Citrine.
Citrine.
Cleanses, so yeah.
Just remember, after you do all this cleansing of it, you're stripping it down to nothing, so you're gonna have to charge it.
Yeah.
With something.
Unless you want it to absorb everything, just in general, that's in the room.
That's true. But even then, you should, at
You
least
should still.
charge it to,
Yeah.
to let it know that's what you want it to do. So,
Right. So we have baths, votives, and tea lights, $3.80. We have more votives than tea lights. There's only 2, 4, 6 tea lights left. Because she's been popular. She's
yay,
a popular lady.
good job.
Everybody wants a bath cat tea light.
Who doesn't?
Cats are cool.
Those who prefer Anubis.
That's true. He's pretty badass too. Don't complain to him though.
He does not suffer complainers.
No, it's not like that.
Okay.
All right.
And if you're not sure what goddess you want to start working with, you can always just use kind of like, I always call them like little blank goddesses because they're nondescript. It's the sacred feminine for any goddess. These little ceramic ornaments. Eventually, you can, I guess assign them to be a certain one if you want. Especially if like you are saving up for one of the big more expensive statues, because these are $13 versus like 60 to 150.
Right.
So
Statues ain't cheap.
no, and let's face it, like the deities, they understand human plight. So if you're struggling financially, but you want to represent something, they will understand at first if this is all you can do, as long as you do it, versus not going without food or being able to pay your rent just to have that statue sitting there,
Right.
versus not doing anything.
Don't get me wrong. Every deity is all about sacrifice, but let's draw a line at essentials.
I mean, they're higher knowledge, higher being, higher, it's more of the fact that you're putting out the effort versus how elaborate. Like if this is all you can really do, that means greater than having a shit ton of money and throwing everything at it, but not meeting it.
Right.
So I know a lot of people starting off feel like they have to have these big elaborate working spaces and you don't.
No, and I didn't. I had only slightly bigger than this Isis statue that I think is resin. It's maybe an inch bigger than this. And it was me and her for years. 3 kids ain't cheap.
I mean, how many of us had kids that gave us macaroni art? We were thrilled as shit with
Right,
that when we
right.
were little. Now, if
As
you're
long as I
30,
left her stuff, she was happy. Even small and light.
right, there we go. It's the intention that you.
It's the
set with that.
intention. I paid attention to her.
All right, what's next?
What's next? These little bracelets are cute.
Right? So we've made these little bitty, and they're kind of bunched up in here from carrying these little bracelets. And what we started doing was letting you know, like, what goddesses work with certain types of stones in jewelry. So, like, this is.
Venus is the other love one that I was trying to think of.
Oh, because it's on the rose.
It's on the rose quartz bracelet, so I cheated.
So, like the black tourmaline, goddess Aradia, which that could be a debate. Was she really a goddess? She was the first witch.
Rose quartz, you got your love goddesses on there.
Right. We have amethyst,
Ooh.
soothing, calming, stimulate psychic abilities and intuition. So we have Artemis, Diana on that one.
The goddess of Amazonite is, I gotta get the tag out of the way. Tiamat?
I think she's an Egyptian one, isn't she?
That doesn't sound familiar to me.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
The bracelets are
T-A-I-M-A-T.
so for Moonstone,
Oh, we got a bunch there.
yeah,
Ceridwen.
yeah, Welsh goddess of knowledge. We
Yeah.
have Nyx, Greek goddess of the night, and Hanwi Lakota moon spirit, which that one's new. I liked putting that one on there because I don't think a lot of the native deities get much attention.
No, I'll agree with that.
They need love too.
They do. They do.
So you can always like put one of the bracelets around like your candle, let it kind of soak in that attention that you want to use that as
You
like a
could charge it
reminder.
that way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A reminder that you want to strengthen that connection with, your deity, and as you're wearing it, it's a reminder that they're with you, that you can ask them to help you.
Just don't like wear it for 6 months and go, it's not working. You never took it off and you never did any of the work that went into it. So, because I hear that a lot.
Yeah, there is a give and take.
There's a give and take.
You have to try.
There's an ebb and a flow. You have to follow it.
Right.
Speaking of flow, let's go to incense.
Cool deal.
Cool deal. What do we got here? Ooh, the moon goddess Isis. There you go. Still love her.
Not that you're biased. or
Not that
anything,
I'm
right?
biased or anything. This one is nice. I like this. I've never actually bought this one. That's pretty good.
You might be now.
I'm going to be buying one of those. This says for peace, healing, consecration, and blessings. Peace. Definitely. Healing, definitely.
I'll use that right now.
Yeah, we could use this all of that right now. Oh, and it comes with a little oil in there. Check that out.
Mm-hmm.
That's adorable. I love that.
Bonus.
Why am I buying that? All right. And then,
But wait,
but wait, there's more. This is now if you're Christian and if you're any kind of Hispanic at all, Our Lady of Guadalupe. Yeah. I have her religious candles on my fireplace, mostly because my best friend Rich said you cannot live in your house unless you have Our Lady of Guadalupe candle, because bad things will happen. And he's Italian, so they got their own hoodoo.
Strigovia.
Yeah, they're real big on
Wait,
that.
what did you
But
say?
anyway,
Strigovia.
but Our Lady of Guadalupe. So this actually smells really good. But that's why you see those candles everywhere. She's probably the most popular. She's not a goddess. She's a saint. Tomato. I agree. But for someone who might get offended, she's technically a saint. And
Goddess is more badass.
I always make sure I have one of her, just in case.
She's been nagging at me lately with Mary.
Has she? Good. I was trying to nag you with her not too long ago, too. Like, why do you not have more of her? Because she's probably one of the best-selling iconic figures. Our Lady
Mm-hmm.
of Guadalupe. I saw a guy yesterday with Our Lady of Guadalupe tattoo on his neck.
See, and I'm usually seeing Tim Burton tattoos.
We're looking at different people.
I think we are. What crowd are you hanging out with?
I was hanging out in drugstores, all right? All right, Mahalakshmi.
She's prosperity again.
Yeah, she's prosperity again. She's also one of the more beautiful deities. I believe Lakshmi was the sister of Krishna. She was somebody important sister. But she is prosperity, peace. She sits on the lotus. She's the one with the mala beads. They all usually have them. She's got the biggest set.
and she will sit and pray for peace for you and other things. But yeah, we do like Lakshmi and prosperity in a more positive way, not necessarily just like she's not a give me money prosperity. She's more of a the riches of the earth kind of
Being in the
prosperity.
flow of the synchronicity for it to happen.
Right.
Instead of the begging for money, like riding the wave of prosperity, being confident in it.
Right. Prosperity in that you raise good children, you have a good family, you have a good harvest, that you have a good, that these good things keep coming, that kind of prosperity.
Right.
So love her. Maha Saraswati. She is a muse. So if you have a block of creativity, she will come amuse you. Okay.
Amuse you?
Amuse you.
Stimulate
Yes.
you. She may make you laugh if you're a
She'll make
writer.
you laugh. She plays the sitar, and she's
Whoops, I keep kicking.
like the patron saint of writers.
Musicians, artists,
Right.
writers. If you've been in the store, she is the statue that's next to Buddha with the swan.
Very pretty. It's a really nice incense. Oh, I guess I should say that these are what, $2? $3 for these boxes, the octagonal boxes. And then we have Durga, who apparently I confused with Kali. When demonic forces create imbalance, all gods unite, becoming one force called Durga. There you go. That's why she has all those arms, because she is all of the gods at the same time. She's pretty badass. I wouldn't mess with her either. She's the goddess of power, period. End of story. Power. All of it. She gets it.
She gets shit done.
She gets shit done. Maybe I should spend some more time with her.
Right.
Okay. Goddess Diosis. What do you know about Diosis?
I honestly figured that was just like Spanish for goddess.
No, it could be Diosis. Yeah.
So more of just
A generic goddess.
if you just want a sacred feminine type of sense. Maybe you're not a fan of one of the others, either they're too floral or, just not feeling quite right.
I'm not really smelling.
I can't.
I guess
smell
that's
good
probably why it's
priorities.
a generic goddess, because it's just got a generic scent. But if we don't have a goddess you're looking for, you can step in with this, and
Or anything floral.
or anything floral.
You got a
Yes,
garden with florals, mints, they tend to like those.
yes, they do.
'Cause they smell good.
All right, and orris oil. Apparently, don't you look into that? It's expensive, though. I will tell you, it's not cheap.
Someone asked if we carry chrysalis tarot.
We do.
I've seen that one.
But since
Speaking
somebody
of
asked about tarot,
tarot, there you go.
a nice little segue. Oh, this one I thought I grabbed the wrong one. I thought this was the Dark Goddess Tarot, but it is not. It's the Fairy Godmother Oracle, but cute as well. Still a type of feminine
Feminine power.
guidance and power
Yep.
and direction in life. $23.99. But I think my favorite out of all of these,
Kuan Yin,
not my favorite.
not your favorite?
No.
Really? How do you not? How did you not
Grin and
like
like
her?
that.
I know, she's awesome.
So we're gonna do Kuan Yin because Nikki is grinning like a Cheshire cat. This is actually a really, really pretty deck. And it's now a pocket size because they were a slightly oversized deck, and now much more manageable. Really, really pretty. Pocket size is only $14.95. If you can see some of the artwork. But the deck has been around a few years. It's just now in a much more manageable size. So $14.95 for Kuan Yin. Back to what I was going to say.
Well, you got a two-part set here. So we're building up to the two parts.
Well, the original was the biggin.
the biggin.
The biggin, the Goddess Power Oracle. It is now in a smaller size.
Oh.
So $40 versus $23. But what I love about this, and if you've ever had readings with Dana here lately, this is one of the decks that she uses a lot. Colette Baron Reed collected, well, I shouldn't say collected because it's not like she has these goddesses in jars.
Are you sure?
I don't know, she might. She's a pretty cool lady.
Yeah.
Um,
I know.
But she collected not only the information, but she channeled messages from goddesses from all over the world. Artwork is beautiful, and what I found was that sometimes, like this one right here, even though she's African American, that is Aphrodite.
Oh, sweet.
She wanted to be represented as African American in this deck, with part of the message being like love knows no color, no boundary from everywhere.
Oh, so she was on point with the times.
She was. So there's a few of the goddesses who will look a little different than what your normal
Traditional.
yeah, but a lot of goddesses you may have never heard. Like there's a Japanese goddess of joy, and when you look at this card, you can't help but laugh or smile because just the childish joy on this face is just awesome. And the very first card that Dana pulled for me out of this deck, I think it was a couple 2 years ago, when Mary started nagging at me in my shaman work, was Mary. So, even they can be a little sarcastic too. But yeah, full size deck, really nice, like cigar type. I call them cigar boxes, where you have the flap over with a magnetic latch. Nice full size colored book. If you really want to learn about different types of goddess, but you don't want to sit through a textbook, like this is a way to do it, because there'll be a whole bunch of them in there with their channeled messages of what they want the message to be, not what some historian says this goddess first appeared in Thrace in 880, and we think she kind of looked like this
63 years ago.
Yeah.
The person who asked about Chrysalis Tarot said that the creator was outed as a neo-Nazi and wants to know if you're going to remove.
Colette Baron Reed was outed as a neo-Nazi.
Apparently.
We'll have to look into that.
Not aware of that. No. Not aware of any of that. And usually that hits pretty hard, like when Doreen
Things
Virtue.
like that come, yeah.
Yeah, when Doreen Virtue decided to renounce everything she did, it was all over the place. Don't tell me you didn't know that. You have a puzzled look on your face.
No, I don't know who that is.
Doreen Virtue?
Mm-hmm.
The angel card lady?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that happened.
What rock have you been under?
I'm sorry. I was just
Yeah.
excited I found a Miss Cleo tarot deck.
So anybody that was fans of Doreen Virtue and you're wondering why you can't find most of her decks, it's because Hay House has quit printing them. She is now a born-again Christian and renounces everything that she ever did.
I love those born agains. I was born right the first time. I'm just saying.
They posted a link.
Okay, we'll look into it. I will definitely look into it. We'll see what I can find, and if the call is made to pull it, we will pull it. I just need to verify some sources on that first before we make a decision.
Right.
So, so thank you for letting us know. I appreciate it. I'm always down for digging up something new.
Right.
How about DJ Conway? Is he still good? Anybody?
She
DJ's a girl?
DJ's a girl.
Oh, like
DJ
on Full
Conway.
House?
Kinda. She has within the last year passed.
Oh,
But
that's
she
sad.
a lot of people would have known her Dragon Magic book.
Oh.
That was her.
Okay.
And
She wrote more than 20 books on paganism, Wicca, and the New Age philosophy, including animal magic, Celtic magic, dancing with dragons, and Maiden Mother Crone.
mhm.
So now I will be on the lookout for all of her books. So this takes the reader on a mystical journey through ancient lands and fulfills a promise related to all peoples and cultures throughout the world. I am duly impressed, says Marguerite Elspeth, the author of Crystal Medicine and the co-author of The Silver Wheel. So it's a comprehensive guide to mythology and magic practices in more than 20 cultures. This is a really fascinating book if you've got time to sit. It's not a tiny book. It's not a quick read. Normally I can blow through these books in about 2 a week. This one would take a little bit longer. However, too, you will keep it forever because it's very good reference material, because there's no way you can possibly remember all of these goddesses and their functions and the gods and the rituals and, the difference between this, that, and the other thing. But there's a lot of, you can just flip into this at any time and get that going. And that is Magic of the Gods and Goddesses, How to Invoke Their Powers. Very good book. It's $29.99, but it is big and chunky and worth every penny of that $29.99.
A lot of knowledge in that book.
There's a lot of knowledge in that book. And this woman didn't write for 35 years to not know anything. So, Nicholas Pearson, here you go. You're the rock lady.
Right. So stones of the goddess. So if you are wanting to use crystals and workings, be it, programming crystals, making grids to help not only your spellcraft, but to strengthen the divine connection to goddesses and Gaia, like this one is going to help you quite a bit. So a lot of you may know of the crystal Bibles we use for the healing aspects, but in here, like he's even going to go into the magical aspects. So like Chrysocolla for magical uses for wisdom, love, memory, calming, balance, luck, and wealth. And he'll even tell you that the elemental signature is water, the astrological signs of Venus and Virgo, and the goddess archetypes, Muse, goddess of love, Great Mother, Queen of Heaven, and Earth Mother. So a lot of different ways to use your stones and take them more than just, this one helps with anxiety.
Right.
So if you're wanting to do and further your work with crystals, then this is a good one to kind of get into, especially if you I like adding crystals to like my candle working. So this could help you match what stones to add.
See, I just recently, 5 years.
5 years
recent, just started adding stones to my candle work. All right, Crystal Goddess 888. What's this? 888. 888. And I have had no coffee.
I need more coffee.
You have wise spiritual guides from the mystical worlds of crystals and goddesses. They are ready to help you now. And this book is going to show you how. It has 18 full-color crystal goddess mandalas by artist Jane Marin. And it is $28.95. And it goes through the process and the stones and the goddesses or gods associated with them. Hold on a second. Just saw it. Saraswati is a sound ammonite spiral manifesting through the world, and it begins to explain to you what to do with your stones and why they do what they do. It's pretty in depth, and I'm not gonna lie, this is not light reading. Again, but when you've gotten over your light reading first book and you're looking for a more in-depth second book, this is the way to go. Again, that's $28.95, and that is from Alana Fairchild, the best-selling author of the Kuan Yin Oracle.
Ooh.
Kuan Yin is coming up because here I have the Divine Lotus Mother CD with meditations from Kuan Yin.
We didn't even plan that segue.
We did not even
just
plan
happened.
that segue. I got all excited about her over there. She is the most called upon goddess on earth. Her mantra is the Om Mani Padme Hum, which is the Om symbol on everything. It opens the heart chakra, divine wisdom, peace and love to flow in the world. She brings messages of peace and healing to the soul. She is of Chinese, Japanese descent, Buddhist.
She's a Buddha.
Yes, she is the female Buddha. And I got the male Buddha, but I'm thinking of getting Kuan Yin on the other side. So that's kind of funny how that came up.
You got the happy Buddha.
I got the happy Buddha.
But she's actually started out as a kitchen god.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that.
The Buddha that's more of your typical
Yeah, the
man
skinny.
looking. Yeah, that's Buddha.
With the knobby head.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then he became he was the kitchen god.
He's the kitchen god.
That's why he's got a belly to rub for good luck.
Happy Buddha. Yes, Scrubby Bill Belly.
Somebody asked if we have any books on the goddess Mara.
Mara, M-A-R-A, or?
M-A-R-A.
No, we do not.
No, she might be included in.
And some of the other ones, but I haven't seen a book dedicated specifically to her. Very few gods or
Yeah.
goddesses have books dedicated specifically to them. I would check Amazon and then I would check thrift books after that, because if it's something that was made and is now out of print, you have a better chance of finding it on like a thrift books type site than Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never even seen a book on Isis. I think I've seen books on Kuan Yin.
Kuan Yin, there's a few Hecate books, like The Keeping of Her Keys and stuff, but even they aren't like overly.
Right, they're small.
Pagan Portals is a book series, and there's like Bridget and Pan and Loki and Thor, but a lot of Celtic versus abroad. I think the most broad they got was like Lilith and the sisters.
Well, then you get Merlin is the only one who really has had his own books, like real books, and he's kind of on the fence of. I mean, we know he was a wizard, a magician, but a god. I don't know if he can. But,
Right, and some would probably say like he's just a character from.
Right.
Was he even really alive? How dare you suggest that that's not even real?
No, there's a Merlin Society. I've actually thought about joining.
Really?
And I've read all the books that they put out about Merlin. He's a fascinating character.
I like the TV show.
It was a good TV show.
I was sad when it ended.
He had kind of a dark adulthood. Not all fun and magic like you think he is. But
Not all fun and games.
not all fun and games. Him and his mirror cave. So, but if you're looking for fascinating reading, there's a million books on Merlin. You can go there.
Right. So if anybody has any questions about anything, because I think we're almost done with the table already.
Are we?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we have these cute little stones here.
Yeah, these little worry goddesses.
I like these.
The cool thing about them, they're made out of gemstones. That one is lepidolite. This one's green aventurine. They are 18, and they come with their little bag and their little card. But the cool thing about these is they have like this little hook by their legs, and it's so you can hold it.
Oh, that does fit nicely
Kind of.
in your hand.
Mm-hmm. So instead of a worry stone, you have a little goddess for holding in the hand and giving you that like that tactile reminder. Which if you're an annoying pen clicker like me, maybe having a goddess and just sit there and then sit and click, or tap, 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 tap. Because I am that annoying pen clicker tapper.
I will take it from you.
You're so mean. Fun sucker.
Are those crystals part of our
No, they just never made it over to get price tags put on.
Okay. Well, then I guess that's it for the stuff we were offering today.
Talking about
This, I have a Gaia tree.
local artist plaque, but only $10.
There you go. Cute little Gaia wall plaque. Tree of life in balloon.
She had, we're waiting for her to bring me another one. She had a, I can't think, the goddess with the snakes in her hair.
Medusa?
Yes. She had, we had a couple of hers, they all sold. So we're waiting on some more of them. And I think she was going to play around with a few others too, just to
See
see.
which way it went.
Mhm.
Yep. I get that. Okay, well, we'll recap with the goddess candles. We have the Isis candle, cute little Isis on top. They are scented appropriately for each goddess.
Any idea who the next one's going to be after Isis and
We are
Persephone.
Persephone, Kali, and Hera. 'Cause you don't mess around with Hera either. She's a bad bitch.
you know what I remember
You don't have a husband like Zeus and not be able to control things.
How well was she controlling? He got around.
He
did
got
some shit.
around, but she cleaned up all his messes and put him in check when need be. So
I feel like she didn't though. I feel like more along the lines of she fucked with his mistresses instead of fucking with him.
well,
That was one of my main issues with her.
yeah. She did a lot of good stuff though. She also did a lot of bad stuff. She was pretty powerful.
A lot of the men got the gods for Greek mythology. They did a lot of terrible stuff.
Oh yeah. They wanted to do more terrible stuff, but the women usually stopped them.
Medusa, her story is very depressing.
It is. It's sad.
I don't remember who did.
I don't
What
remember who
to
killed
her?
her either, but
No, that was Athena, I think.
okay. Well, let's get a book on mythology again.
Right.
Gonna have to go back through those again.
I don't know. Somebody got pissed because she was raped in their temple, and so they turned her into a woman with snake for her hair. Yeah, snake heads for her hair.
Why should we be pissed? I'd be pissed too.
I'd be pissed too.
She wasn't pissed at the man though.
Yeah.
She was pissed at
I'd
her.
be pissed at everybody.
You have to think too that these gods and goddesses were around at a time when male-female relations were very different in that part of the world, as opposed to other parts of the world where they were
A little more balanced.
a lot
maybe.
more balanced. Yeah,
And how
we're looking at
interesting-
you, India.
Well, and Native American
Native Americans.
mythology are pretty well.
Yeah,
I actually don't know much about
Um,
indigenous
does, and
people
we should.
mythology.
we stole their
They
land. We
weren't-
should learn about their gods.
they were not allowed to really openly do any of their ceremonies or do any sort of practice. They would be punished for it if not killed, which is why it's so hard to go find a medicine man and go learn. Because, were you really coming to learn or were you coming to try and get somebody in trouble?
Right.
Yeah.
And another reason why they didn't really take money as payment. So this whole thing in the metaphysical, you're not supposed to charge. They did charge, but it was food, guns, ammo, blanket, things like that. It wasn't money. Money meant nothing really to them. It was things to survive. So, but yeah, the native, a lot of the South American natives are trying to help North American natives reclaim some of their culture and some of the stories, and as best as they heard how
Right.
they went, because a lot of it's been lost. And let's face it, we all, no matter what tradition, there's always a period in the generation where the young people think that the practices and beliefs of the grandparents and elders are silly, and they want to be modern, and they want to, kind of get away
Well,
from that.
Too, and I actually just heard this argument today, and it was a very, very valid one. That that the traditions were passed down through oral storytelling, and when we started forcing religion on large groups of people, that storytelling went away.
Yeah.
So when you brought in your Catholics and your Protestants, and then we did crusades and we force-turned people, and we did all these, we came to the Americas and made them become Christians too.
Don't
and
get me started on it.
the whole 9 yards. That storytelling of the old ways was gone, and once it's gone, it's gone.
I don't.
Yeah.
They
I-
didn't write, so
Right. Well, and the Peruvian people, the Quechua people, the tradition that I study in the shamanism, there really isn't a written. Everything is oral, and that's how they learn is oral. Even so much so that in the Quechua language, there's not any one way to spell any of it. It's all done phonetically.
okay.
So, and here's another instance of this tribe on this side of the mountain has the story slightly different
Then the one over
than
here.
the little village over here, because telephone happens.
Yes.
And if you try to write it down, well, my phonetic and your phonetic, if somebody's hard of hearing, might be slightly different.
It's true.
So,
Especially of accents, and anytime you have people separated, you develop a different inflection on
Mhm.
things, and it all comes into play.
right.
But
One thing that really drives me crazy about the fact that Christianity was really forced on people when the Europeans started coming over was the fact that there was a whole culture that they completely destroyed in like Puerto Rico and the Caribbeans that's just gone now.
Yeah.
Like
It's gone.
my dad doesn't talk about anything that like could have been passed down to me. The only thing he told me, and he didn't even tell me until I was like 16, was the fact that they practice Santeria sometimes, depending.
Depending. Be careful with your Santeria, okay?
He was like, the first thing he told me about it was that they sacrifice chickens sometimes. That's what he knows.
My grandfather, who was also Puerto Rican, used to say, "Don't fuck with no shit you don't understand." And I believe that. I try and live by that. I
Well,
don't.
we know my grandfather's story. He was going to be a priest until he met grandma.
Yeah.
And decided he liked grandma better than being a priest.
Grandma must have been hot.
Grandma was. And then grandpa on my dad's side, like he passed long before I was even ever born from cancer, unfortunately.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming. All of this stuff will be available in the store. If you have any other questions, feel free to message us on Facebook. I am Crystal Moon Candle on Facebook, and we know her as Goddess Elite.
Find us on YouTube, like, subscribe. We're doing deck reviews and other things as well on YouTube. So, and YouTube never fails on these lives where here we have second, third week in a row, Instagram will not hold the connection, and Facebook, there's always a little bit of a lag. So
Yeah.
YouTube is pretty spot on. So
Thank you, YouTube.
right. So like, subscribe, join us on YouTube.
Smash that like button.
Right. All right. I think
Good night, Irene.
good night, Irene.
Cheers.
More wine? Well, shit.
More wine. My house, my rules.
My house. Ganesh just says that he makes a differ from way back in the corner peanut gallery.
I'm sure I can find somebody over there that'll say something else.
And then we got Bob over.
Bob doesn't
Ever since he
talk
got
to me.
a girlfriend, he's all Mr.
Am I ending
Yeah.
the live?
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Night.